I was muted. Thank you. I just saw that. Okay, so we're going to get started then. So what we're really going to be learning about here is, what St. Peter's College is, what you can study here, why students succeed here, tuition, fees, scholarships, common concerns, and kind of what to know in your first year. Again, I'm going to be condensing some of this stuff and skipping past some stuff as well, because we do have all the previous recorded sessions available on our website. All you really need to know with St. Peter's is we've been a school we're about 100 years old now. We've been affiliated with USass for most of that. And basically, if you're a St. Peter's College student, you're also a USass student taking USass classes by USass profs. You get a lot of the USass benefits. You just get what's called the SPC advantage, which is what I'm really going to be focusing on here today. This is, of course, the campus. You're welcome to come out for a tour. So there's a lot of here. First, we basically offer about 60, 70 different programs. We offer 60 plus in-person classes every year. So there's quite a bit that you actually can go out and do. Long story short, though, is if you can study it at USass, you can probably study it here for the first year. At the very minimum, we do offer some up to 2 years for some programs. All the programs are available up on our website. Basically, these are what all of the direct entry programs with the University of Saskatchewan that you can start here. We're going to skip past some stuff here. I can come back to this later if anyone likes. So like I said, we're going to be really talking about the St. Peter's Advantage here. That's just the kind of like term that's been dubbed by some of our students. And it's kind of broken into 4 main categories. One's the small campus, one's the supportive environment, one is the fact that students report that they get to start strong here, and then there's just the student life. Starting off with the small campus, we do have small in-person class sizes. Those typically hover around somewhere it's usually in like the 15, 16 mark on average. It just depends on the year and what classes we're offering, how many students we have. But that is the average. So for some classes like, English or a biology or a chemistry, you might have like, up to 30 people. But some other classes, you might go as low as like, I don't know, like 9 or 10. So it just kind of depends what you're all taking. But either way, it's going to be quite small. So a lot of people think that, oh, well, because you're a smaller place, it's harder to make friends, Oh, well, if you're in a room of 400 people, it'd be easier to make friends there. Not quite, because typically students are not very they're not very confident in being able to speak up again with that many people. So honestly, our setting's almost like a high school setting in a sense. Like people get really familiar with the people in their classes. So people here make some really good friends, and typically they'll remain friends as they go through university. You'll almost always find your future university roommate at St. Peter's College. They almost always move in together. We do have free parking. So for any of the parents in here, you will 100% acknowledge just how much of a perk that is. For students, you might not understand just how nice that is yet. There's just a welcoming feeling, and really students feel like they get the transition to university here. Again, just to highlight it, this is what our average class size is. All of our classes look like that. This is a pre-COVID photo. So there's been some changes to the classrooms, but ultimately they're all going to have those nice big chairs or nice big desks, nice big black leather chairs, very comfortable. All the rooms have a camera, a projector, microphones, speakers, whiteboards, everything that you could possibly need. This is not picking on any other institution in particular, but the reality is if you're a larger institution in the first year and usually second year as well, you're typically going to have classes between the 200, 300, 400 range. And that just makes sense. If you get 5,000 incoming students every year, well, we know that like 1,000, 2,000 of them are going to need, some type of a science. So biology and chemistry, they get split up into these massive classes like this. But just because we're small doesn't mean we don't have a lot of big opportunities. We have wonderful sports and fitness facilities here. We bring in guest lecturers. What you see in the top right corner is we brought in first aid, subsidized, so cheaper than you can get anywhere else, first aid training for our students. We're actually looking at doing that again this year. That's going to be interesting to try and figure out with COVID. So there's quite a bit of stuff that you can go out and do here at the college. We're not trying to say, yeah, it's just like the city. To be forward, the main campus has more stuff going on. again, pre-COVID years, which just makes sense. That said, we have that nice rural feel here, where you're still able to get a lot of excellent stuff out of your education. It's a lot more quiet, it's a lot more tranquil, I guess, and so you're really able to relax and hang out with people. It's a very big social gathering hub here at the college. So now going on to the next point here, it's really just a supportive environment. So what really kind of leads that is student services. So Crystal and myself, and of course, like all the staff and the faculty, students are always come first. So basically, students are always able to come and talk to the student services for like help with anything. It doesn't have to be, as we talked about in one of our previous videos, it doesn't have to just be, oh, which class do I take? They'll come to us for, whether it's, I'm depressed. Oh, I think I'm having difficulties learning. I'm spaced out. Oh, maybe we should like look at, learning strategies. Maybe there's something deeper going on there. It's I have no internet. I need to move. I'm having difficulty funding my education. So it's all different sorts of things. Students here really do get a lot of one-on-one time with instructors, which is just fantastic. I mean, all the professors know all the students by name. Like if you look in our videos, that's something that every single student says when we interview them. Like, how do you like St. Peter's? Oh, I love it because the professors know my name. You walk down the hallway, you walk in a room, people know who you are. You're not some stranger, so you're able to make some really good connections there. We have something called ACE, which is the Academic Center of Excellence. That's basically like an academic skill building workshop that we host every week. So it's something like that that would be stuff like, how helping with writing an essay, math help, study skills, time management, technological resources, all the stuff like that. So students are always able to get free tutoring here at St. Peter's. But really what students really report is that they feel that they get individual, like that they matter, they're not just some face in the crowd. They're not, if they need help, they don't have to sit on a phone waiting for 10 minutes, press 1 to talk to this person, press 2 to talk to this person. They just get quick, immediate help, and that's personalized. People know who they are, they know their circumstances. So you get a lot more detailed advice, and that's more specific to your circumstances. That's not to take anything away from like bigger institutions. It's just the reality of smaller versus, thousands of people every single year. Another really big thing that students really report is that they feel they get to start strong at St. Peter's College. Right before COVID happened, 23%, so basically 1 in 4 of our students were on track to achieve honor roll. And that varies depending on which college that you're in. But 23% of them were on track. That's really, really big. It's not like high school. Grades in high school do not really translate very well to university. It is a pretty big deal if you're able to get honor roll. So students here really feel like they do well. Of course, our students, they do end up with lower debt, which makes sense. So tuition is similar, if not a little bit cheaper than the main campus. Some exceptions apply there. Student fees are much cheaper. You get to keep all your USAS scholarships, and we have additional St. Peter's ones on top of that. Well, of course, you're going to get lower debt then. There's lots of academic supports. Again, we offer more face-to-face classes. This is a fact that was pre-COVID than all the other regional colleges combined. We're very much a believer in that in-person classes benefit the student academically, socially, and just really foster towards a good educational experience where the student wants to be here and really enjoys their education. We are also the only CCR approved distance campus. So what that means, CCR is co-curricular record. So normally when you graduate, you get the degree right over there. There's your glorified expensive piece of paper. What the CCR is, the co-curricular record, it's another piece of paper you get when you graduate. So that's really good actually with helping to find jobs. So let's say you were in a leadership position. So you took on, you were part of like one of the student governments, for example, or you went to like, you're an education student and you went to all these professional development sessions. They keep track of what you're doing, that you've done these things. It is a testament that you went above and beyond with your learning. And that goes a really long way when you're going to look for a job. And when you're looking into grad school, it's not just that person has a degree. It's that person is really committed because they're trying to do more and more to grow as an academic, as a student, as a person, as a professional. Now, as for tuition, I'll show you a couple numbers here. I did go really in depth with money on one of our previous videos, which is on our website or our YouTube channel. I'm just going to throw you some numbers here. This is based on tuition's based on the total number of classes you take, which classes they are. You know, some of them are more expensive than others. And like the number of USask classes, because we do have the occasional student here who takes, you know, some St. Pete's ones, some USask ones. So if we assume 30 credit units, which is a full load, over engineering it's 34. Oh, I'm not sure why that's not there. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay, I cannot. Okay, no, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so these are the numbers here that you get. Again, this is very much an estimate. Our tuition is quite similar. It's sometimes a little bit cheaper, but you know, it's not substantial. You're not going to save thousands of dollars here. You will save a lot of money on student fees though. And again, this is an estimate. If this is a sticker shock for you, don't worry. It can really only go down from that point unless you're just taking like way more classes than you should. So student fees at St. Peter's are approximately a third of the cost. So students typically here will graduate with less debt. Again, as previously mentioned, because there's just more scholarship opportunities and it's a little bit less expensive. So being able to double that scholarship pool is really, really big. I'm not sure why I ended up there. Okay, so now going on to student life. I'll talk more about money here in just a second. We have quite a bit that you can actually do here. If you've been to the college before, the campus, you'll realize just how big it is and how much stuff there is here and how much room that there is. So we try and fill that with all sorts of fun things for students to do. So we do have a student government. It's really active this year. We have like 12 members. We have a gymnasium and sports equipment, as I showed you earlier. So we have a gym, we have a fitness center, which is students only, not accessible to the public. That is students only, state-of-the-art equipment. So you can basically almost always get it to yourself if you really wanted it that way. We also offer a racquetball court, and there's a ice hockey rink as well. There are professional development opportunities. Like I said, we bring in speakers. We bring in people to we bring in trainers, stuff like that. So there's things you can do. And we also try and encourage students to attend stuff on the main campus as well. We do occasionally bring students to the main campus as well. So there's quite a few fun and frequent events. This year has been a little bit challenging, to be admitted. We are doing in-person classes and stuff, but there are COVID regulations in place. So that has limited a little bit with what we're able to actually offer in terms of events this year, unfortunately. And then there's also employment opportunities. There are students who are hired here, especially during the summer and then during the year as well. One of our current students has worked for us for quite a while, actually. So really, why do students choose St. Peter's College? Just as a quick summary here, it's the small in-person classes. There's over $90,000 in additional scholarships. I imagine that figure will go up here in a little bit. Sorry, I just will be right back. So they report that they feel they get a competitive entrance. They feel like they're doing better here, which makes sense because it's smaller class sizes. You get more time with the professors, so you can probably ask the questions. You can probably ask the questions that you have and get the help that you need. It's a really friendly environment. Like I said, everyone kind of knows everyone. If you go to our videos, look at our testimonials, it's always like, oh my God, they're one big family. They really feel like the transition to university here. There's 70 plus different programs we support, and they really feel that they get individualized support. Again, not a face in the crowd, not, hold on the phone for 10 minutes, press 1 to talk to this person. Like you can just literally knock on a door and you can get the help that you need. To kind of simplify that a little bit further, you basically get the same education. You get smaller class sizes at a similar cost, if not cheaper, additional scholarships, and you get personalized help. Oh, and we were there before. Now we do offer a residence as well. If you're not from the local area, or if you just want to experience dorm living life, we have that. It's competitively priced. It's apartment style, so you get your own room, which is really, really good. There's a meal plan for every day of the week. We've had lots of compliments about our meals, especially this year. We've so now like they're like serving the students and stuff. It's fantastic. There's typically they'll get extra benefits, like we'll try and make sure they have like nice lots of goodies, like welcome packages. We'll try and make sure that they have dibs first with like opportunities and with jobs and stuff like that. It's a really good opportunity to make friends. Like I said, so a lot of the students who, especially in residence, who come to St. Peter's, end up actually moving in somewhere in Saskatoon. Once they get to the main campus, they move in together. So it's a really great opportunity to get to know someone, because at that point you're going to know what they're going to be like. You're going to know if they do the dishes or not, if they're loud and stuff. So it's really, really good that way. And it's something we could all be really grateful about, especially over these last few weeks, is if you're a resident, you don't have to go outside technically. We recommend that, you probably should go outside at some point, but when it was -50 out, our students could walk around in flip-flops and shorts. So that's a really big bonus in wintertime. That said, it is a really beautiful campus here. There's lots of people who come from all over the local area, to feed the birds, do the walking trails, cross-country skiing. There's lots of nature and wildlife here. Like there's a deer that roam on campus. So it's wonderful. That said, if you like St. Peter's College, but you don't want to do residence, you still can rent in the local area. These are the residence options here. The shared is not an option due to COVID. These prices were based on last year. I don't know what they're going to be like this year. There's been talks about having them lower. There's talks about them keeping the same. I have no idea yet. We will release that as soon as we can. There is free laundry, electricity, heated water, parking, internet. We recently 10 times our internet speed, so students really get some excellent quality Wi-Fi. Each room includes a dresser, a desk, and a chair, and a sink. Every room has a sink in there, which is actually quite nice to have. And then there's just a meal plan as well, and it's currently served buffet style. Again, this is just something in a previous video that we've done. If you want to look at that, just go to our website. You can see like the funding breakdown, how much it costs, where you get that money from, stuff like that. And this is some common difficulties here. These are just some things that we've noticed. We work a lot with income and first year students. There some common difficulties students might be like the academic rigor. There's the reasons there. And so we have some solutions here. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this or something. I won't go all over it. I've talked about this exact thing in a previous video. So I'll give you a couple seconds here if you want to take a screenshot of that. And really, if you want to apply, it's pretty simple. You just have to apply to USask, apply to St. Peter's College. It's free. It takes like 10 minutes. It's just so we have your information to put into the system and make sure we can reserve a spot for you. And then you also need to apply to University of Saskatchewan. That's ones where you have to follow the USask deadlines, and you have to pay their application fee and stuff like that. We can help with all of that. That's fine. We do that multiple times a week. If you want to reach out to us, there's a couple ways. We have the Facebook, we have an Instagram, we have a Twitter, we have a YouTube channel. We also have our website. Feel free to just reach out, and we'd be happy to help out with anything that you might have. A lot of people think that, oh, I'm bothering you, or, oh, that's a stupid question. It's really not. Going from high school to university, especially if you're a first time like student or parent doing that, there's a lot of stuff that you don't know. So we're happy to help out with that. If you want to get in touch with us, you can also reach out. Those emails below, there's a phone number below, and our website is below. That's really all I have for you. Now, if you have any specific questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I'm also just going to post a little link into the chat box here. So we're just doing a quick prize draw. So if you want to like, sign up for more information, or if you want to just, do a prize draw, you can just fill that out really quickly. It gives you the opportunity to ask some questions as well. Otherwise, feel free to type into the Q&A or the chat, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thanks for attending.